I am Mississauga, and I remember. I was born from the seeds of conflict in another land, a refuge, a new beginning, loyal roots. There was a time in my youth, in the year 1812, and long before my name was chosen, that I volunteered to defend lands far from my home. I served, I struggled to survive, and I came home, true to my heritage. I remember. There was a time in 1837 when I was pulled apart by discontent, when politics and fairness were at odds, and I had to choose sides. In time, peace and reconciliation came, and with a renewed spirit, I returned to my home. And I remember.
There was a time in 1866, in 1870, and again in 1899, when I was called again, and again I stepped forward to serve in lands far from my home. I went and I served. Humbled and perhaps a bit wiser, I returned home. I remember. There was a time when I was away, serving in lands that were not my own, that the support from home emboldened me, made me stronger and more determined. Yet it also stirred my longing to return to my own lands, my own kin, the roads and rivers that I knew and loved best. And I did each time return to my home, strengthened by the experience and saddened by the loss. I remember.
There was a time over 4 long years, from 1914 to 1918, when I stepped forward to serve my country in a war that was not my making and far, far from my home. It was my greatest test. Undaunted and determined, I served. I bled. I fell. I rose again and again to hold the line, striving to do my part. Together with others from Canada, we achieved what had been unachievable, at an almost unbearable cost. I came of age there. Even today, I still lie in France, in Belgium, and other places far from my own lands. But I returned home, in part. I remember, and I will never forget.
The war to end all wars, sadly, did not end war. Again and again the call has gone out, and again I have come forward to serve. It is a sacred duty and a calling that I will always answer. All has been focused on doing my part. Even as I have remained at home, sending care packages, training schools, munition factories, supporting the effort and sending letters from home. All are part of my story, of my memory. There is a price to be paid if you go or if you stay, as our peace and freedom is achieved in many different ways. I remember, and I have a story to tell.
As time moved on from the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, conflict has continued to rear its head. Although wars have never breached my borders, in my formative years, and as I have grown over time, I have stepped forward again and again to serve. I was there in the Second World War, the Korean War, the Gulf War, Kosovo, Afghanistan, and other conflicts and peacekeeping missions.
I am Mississauga. There are memorials to my sacrifice across my land. I'm older now, but I remember, and I'm still here, ready to stand and be counted when called upon again. I am Mississauga. I was there then. I am here now, and I remember.